couple of them have been out already.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe we should try to recap some of that really quick.
Have you seen Star Trek?
I haven't. That's why I was bringing it to you guys, because I know you guys both saw it. I heard from everyone, the consensus was kind of like it was really good inside that trilogy, and that it was the most character driven of the.
So also the most Star Trek-y
verse.
Yeah,
and also that too. That
it was less Star Wars.
It felt more like original series kind of thing, or maybe
In a way, it was less Star Wars, but in a way, it was a lot more Fast and Furious.
Yeah, no, I heard that too because of Fast and Furious. Yeah. Which I mean, it is
good
fun.
Job with it though.
But again, I heard that at least the characters were written well and the story was good, which
and it worked for the trilogy it's based. If it was trying to be like the original stuff, and it would have been like, oh my goodness.
Are you guys excited to watch the new Star Trek show?
I kind of am.
Isn't it only on CBS online or something, or they change it?
They're premiering it on the main network.
Yeah.
The big premiere event, and so everyone can watch. And then they're hoping that everyone's going to subscribe to their thing, which, I mean, some people are going to, but not everyone is going to, because people are already paying for all the Netflix.
To me,
and all the other things,
I can't get in. I've tried several times to get into any of the older series of Star Trek. I just couldn't get into really any of them. There's good stuff in them, I think. Yeah. But I just can't get into I couldn't watch the whole series.
Awesome. So the only thing that I love quite a few of the episodes of The Next Generation. Maybe not the show as a whole, but some of that appeals to me.
I've never actually seen any of Next Generation. I've seen some of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So.
The only thing that I know that is I've heard and I've seen a few of them that my dad really liked, Deep Space Nine, and the reason he really liked it is because the creator of the reimagined Battlestar Galactica was on that show for a while, writing a lot of stuff. So some
Ronald
of that
Moore,
stuff, Ronald D. Moore. He was on that show for a couple of years, and so some of those years feel a lot like Battlestar Galactica because it has his voice in it. So
I never tried
what
Deep
I've heard.
Space Nine.
I've heard good things, but again, I've heard that it went on for 6 or 7 years. So parts
I've
of it
seen
are good.
episodes here and there. This is a good episode, but as a whole, the series, I couldn't watch the whole thing.
That's what I feel like Star Trek. Is for sure the original series. I can't speak for anything else, but the original series was just a because that's what all TV was back in the day. It was okay, this is the monster of the week. This is the thing. There's not a main story. There'd be a story arc maybe, but there's not this is what the show is about. The show is about going into space, exploration, crazy aliens, and that's cool. But it's not something that I usually enjoy watching. Right. I usually enjoy watching.
But I did like the new Star Trek movies because to me it kind of modernized to the point it was entertaining to watch. Plus, it still dealt with some of those old themes the series captured.
Okay, so I'll probably check it out to see what it's any good.
Yeah. My only thing with the new Star Trek movie, but I don't want to see too many spoilers. The ending is just. It seemed a little weird to me, the way they solved the problem.
Yeah, it was kind of funny though.
It was funny.
It was a cool scene.
it was cool. It was just I don't know. It just seemed a little too out there.
It's one of those conveniences, but
even for Star Trek, it seemed a little out there.
Okay, so we were on the other movies that we had on our list. Another one that I know has come out that me and Matthew have seen. I don't know if you saw. We talked about The Jungle Book when that was about to come out. You saw The Jungle Book?
Morgan, I saw that.
So we should talk about that. Yeah, The Jungle Book I think was. Wait, for sure. What?
Should we actually say we're starting?
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. There will be an edit at some point here, and you guys will have heard probably most of this. Welcome to We'll Figure It Out. I'm Derek.
I'm Matt.
I guess that makes me Travis.
I suppose it does.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think I started that mid-Star Trek conversation.
Yeah, at some point, me and Matthew realized that you were already recording. We don't know when it was, but at some point we both realized that we were on. So let's just go for it. What I meant to say was that the Jungle Book, they've done Cinderella and they've done, what else have they done? There was another
Maleficent.
One. And they just did Pete's Dragon.
Yes.
And that's it. So they have 4 of them now.
Yep.
So for sure, this one is the one that people enjoyed the most overall. And I thought it was really, really good.
Wait, we have to wait. There's going to be one more Jungle Book still coming.
There's still a second Jungle
Book
movie. I think if they go in a different direction with it, it'll be fine. That there's 2 of them. They think they're going to, from what I've seen of clips of it, of production stuff with Andy Serkis, it looks totally different.
I know it's basing it more off the actual book.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus Disney kind of, went more towards the old movie. My
favorite part about the Jungle Book, the movie that they did just now, is that they, I think that the ending of the animated movie is really weird, and I didn't like it.
Doesn't that follow the book, or is that...
from the animated movie? I think it does, maybe, but either way, I don't think that it was, that interesting to me. Whereas this one, they had, that interest, that, the battle sequence, which was really cool, and they had, and of course, the entire cast, I think, did, perfectly. I was so surprised that, Christopher Walken was like doing that musical number,
Yes.
and I loved it. It was perfect.
I love that they.
It was so out there, but I love it.
Exactly.
I love that they perfectly captured a way to bring that some of those old songs from the original movie back, but do it in a unique, modern way.
And Idris Elba was terrifying, which is great because that's how he should be.
Yes.
he seems like the best when he's just menacing and being like, "I'm a terrible person," and I'm like, "Yes, I believe you. Go away." And Scarlett Johansson for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
but that was good.
Still was really good.
It stole the show there for a couple.
It was
minutes.
very interesting. Her song was also creepy and weird. I'm trying to remember what else is on the list that we talked about that we didn't get to
Suicide Squad.
discuss.
Suicide
I mean, we
Squad.
can talk about Suicide Squad if we want.
Didn't we have a? Wait, no, we didn't actually have a
No, we
review
didn't.
for it
We
yet.
had a mini review. That
I
we
think
all
that should
kinda
be our
said.
review tonight too. We should talk about Suicide Squad.
We can talk about Suicide Squad.
I don't think it's gonna be a long review, but
yeah, we can do that. Yeah, what do you guys think overall?
I like Harley Quinn. I like Deadshot.
I liked the movie.
Sentence ends there.
I thought I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I thought
Okay.
I thought it was lacking in several areas, but I thought it's better in Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman.
Well, yeah, I think it's the best of the DC films, which
Yeah.
again would have been easy to do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But also not what I wanted from a Suicide Squad movie because I think mainly because of everything that I've heard since it came out, which is that like they took the Joker out of it almost entirely. The Joker isn't in that movie for more than 10 minutes.
But they
like,
made
if you put it all together, maybe it's 10 minutes.
10
you
minutes,
think?
But did you hear about the deleted scenes?
Yeah,
that
I've
he
heard
was
a lot
putting?
about deleted scenes that like
That
might have
Joker
been
really
good.
had,
But I think that they focus too much on like, okay, we need to have these people face a villain of some kind. We need to have
that dances at the end.
Yeah, exactly. We need to have a villain. So we pick Enchantress, which, I mean, no one really. People know who Enchantress is. I didn't know who Enchantress was.
I knew who she was. But
Yeah. I don't think a lot of mainstream people knew
No.
who she was. I think people knew who the Joker and Harley Quinn
Well,
and even Deadshot
Deadshot, yeah.
knew who they were. So that was a good idea. But
I didn't know Deadshot until I watched Arrow, and then
yeah, Deadshot's a really interesting kind of character, and I think this is the best version.
You know what I heard today?
What?
Side note: Shia LaBeouf was almost in this
I
movie.
did hear that as well. Who is he going to play? Does he,
He was
have
going
just
to
a
play
character?
Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood's his character, who was the army guy. Who was
yeah.
He was going to play his role.
I heard that a lot
originally
of
that was
stuff
going to be Tom Hardy, but he had to drop out for another movie.
Yeah, but again, I heard that a lot of that stuff was cut as well. That there was some more stuff with that character because, again, Scott Eastwood was advertised as being in this movie.
Yes.
He was in the movie not very long at all.
He wasn't really needed to be.
No, he didn't need to be in it. They didn't need to cast Scott Eastwood for sure.
No.
They could have cast
Wait,
anyone.
maybe I'm thinking of a different actor. Which one?
Scott Eastwood, he's the military guy that works with the Rick Flag.
Yeah, so
I was
not
thinking of Rick Flag.
Yeah,
Never
no,
mind.
Rick Flag,
No,
I think does.
Tom Hardy's going to be Rick Flag.
I thought no, Captain Boomerang was. I thought it was.
Either way, Tom. Yeah, no, that would make sense because Tom Hardy's also. Is he also Australian?
I think so.
Yeah, because I've heard there's
I don't know, I
a
read
lot of
Rick
weird
Flag.
stories coming out of the movie that basically all this weird stuff happened. But yeah, I think overall my main problem with it was I don't think Enchantress was that good.
I didn't need the love story between her and Rick Flag to
No, I
understand
don't-
her as
I
a
don't think
villain.
so.
I was just like,
I don't think she should have been the villain. I think that
Yeah.
like when I watched the trailers for this movie, what I thought it was these guys are all breaking out of prison because the Joker has gone crazy and started torturing people, and they're trying to get him. And I think that would have been a really interesting story.
Have you
Because then
guys-
you can have the weird, twisted love story of Harley and Joker, which they kind of
Right.
barely did the origins of really quickly.
Yeah.
you guys ever see? It's an animated movie came out a couple years ago called. It's basically in the Arkham games universe though, but it's what's it called? It's called Batman Assault on Arkham, and it's a Suicide Squad movie essentially, but it's an animated version of it. And that one is a far better Suicide Squad movie than what we actually saw, because in that one, it essentially truly is set up as they're sent in to essentially actually stop the Riddler, but the
That would
Joker
be
breaks
cool.
out of prison. He's in the Arkham Asylum, and you have to go into Arkham, and he breaks out while they're there. Batman's in the movie, but he's kind of like throughout the movie, he kind of weaves in and out of the story, because he's like kind of on one side of this fight. Once Joker breaks out, Joker is after Batman and the whole squad, and this to get out himself. He doesn't really care about any of them. So it makes it for a very interesting dynamic. I think it would probably been better utilized if they had used it that way versus throwing in the Enchantress for no reason.
I think that they could have picked. There's a ton of good Batman villains, like a lot of them, and they could have picked any of those to be good in this and have a cool villain sort of role, like a villain that is like interesting that I wanted to, see in some way, and also just the fact that they had a bunch of weird. They had to have something for them to fight, so they said that there were people that were like they were radiation or something. They were
like
they
she
were
turned them
zombies.
into something.
Yeah, they were zombies kind of, and they charged at people, and they were like black, kind of creepy looking, but not really.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
You have to have a villain for villains. It's
Yeah.
not easy to do.
Yeah, it is not easy. But I think the Joker could have definitely been that. I think the Joker could have
I
easily
would
been...
argue too that what was the need for the squad when you had the military squad there as well? It was like you didn't need both of them there. I wouldn't think. It was like,
And again, the point is that, like, I heard someone else say this, and I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. Amanda Waller set up this squad as a way to
Rescue
fight.
her.
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah.
but she set up the squad as a way
Essentially,
to be like, okay, what if something bad comes, like Superman,
Yeah.
but that's not on our side, and then they're like, okay, let's do it, and then one of the people that was on her squad is the person that they're trying to fight, but yet the military still goes, oh yeah, she was right, we do need someone like them, and I'm like, but wait, do you not know that this was the woman that was just here? Like that Amanda Waller was supposed to be in charge of and
Yes.
controlling, and so they never really talked about that. The military were all just like, "Yes, that we can't handle this. Let's call in this team that we just found out about."
No, it's fine. She had a costume change. She was completely different.
She had a costume change.
I will say this.
Yeah.
One thing that I did really like about the movie, all of the practical costumes were amazing.
yeah.
I liked everyone. I liked that. I mean, again, I think Will Smith is my
I
favorite
think he was
part
the,
of this
the
whole
sell.
movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that was the point.
Yeah.
I think once they filmed this movie, they looked at it and they said, "Okay, Will Smith is doing something right here. Let's just let him be the star of this movie," and they edited it that way, and that's fine with me.
I
I'm
think
totally
Will
okay with
Smith
it.
needed this movie.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
he's had
I've
a
also
lot
heard
of
that.
really bad movies lately.
Yeah.
I think he needed this.
It made me believe in Will Smith again,
Yeah.
which I wanted to do. I wanted to believe in Will
Yeah.
Smith so bad, and I did in this movie. And everyone else, I sort of believed. I really like Margot Robbie. I think that
She did a good
for
job.
sure. Like have there been like live action Harley Quinn before
No.
on TV or on movie anywhere?
Yes.
Kind of an era.
There was
Very briefly.
like for a second an Arrow, but wasn't there a Birds of Prey
There was
show?
a Birds of Prey series years ago. I think briefly dealt with there at one point.
Yeah, I think she was in that.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Because Harley Quinn is such a weird character that you can go in like any number of directions with.
Yeah.
If you've read, I actually, so weirdly enough, because of this, when I bought the tickets online for Suicide Squad, they gave you like downloadable comics
Mhm.
That's
of
cool.
some of them. Like they're like, here you go, here's Suicide Squad #1 from like 1980 something, like or
Oh,
whenever the
nice.
first one was.
Yeah.
Here's the relaunch of Suicide Squad from 2011.
yeah, I
And
have
then
that
here
one.
is the Harley Quinn from 2009 or something like that. It was a very recent #1 of Harley
Yeah.
Quinn to give you and so I read that, and I read. I as an interesting side note, the relaunch of Suicide Squad, actually the beginning of the movie is kind of like that.
Yeah, it is.
They kind
It
of took
is.
it and they're like, hey, that's cool,
Yeah.
and they kind of did that, and that's what made me excited when I was first starting the movie.
Mhm.
The beginning of it kind of caught me.
Yeah.
But as I read that Harley Quinn, and I also picked up another version of Harley Quinn that was a different #1 from last year, and then there was a third one that I actually read. All three of them were very weird, but all three of them were different.
Right.
Like it was like super, like one of them that I read I didn't like at all. I was like, I don't know if you've read this comic, but I got it actually from like the free comic book when we went down there. And it was advertised as Harley Quinn #1, and I don't know what it was
Yeah.
even. But there was a genie, like she found a genie, in a bottle, and then she rubbed the genie and she started making all these like wishes, and like it was totally like I've never read anything so strange in my life, because it was
Wow.
like it's like someone wrote this like for someone who is in 7th grade, but also made it rated R as well. Like it was like, this is a dirty sex joke, and this is something weird about farts. You like it? And I was like, no, I don't think I do. What's happening? And that's the entire thing. And
Well,
she wished
she
that her
is
hamster
crazy.
could talk,
Yeah.
and then her hamster was like, and yeah, it was crazy, but it was also like a
No.
weird. I didn't get it.
You know what was crazy
I
in the
definitely
movie?
didn't, yeah.
Harley's fantasy.
Yeah.
Like in that dream sequence thing where she was imagining her as a Joker in a normal life, and
Once I saw that fantasy, I was like again impressed with how much Harley Quinn, like the costume of it. It was like, oh yeah, that's how she normally looks. It looks
yeah,
really.
How did you
Margot
guys
Robbie.
feel about the Joker? In his portrayal in this movie.
I feel like this is what I've said to everyone. It's like I feel like I want another one. I do. It's enough that I want another one, but I'm sad that that's how I feel, because every other one, it's like I don't think the Joker has ever been so underused in anything. The Joker is usually like,
Yeah.
okay, this is the Joker. He's not like second place
Yeah.
villain ever. He's
Yeah.
always like, okay, this guy is trying to be the Joker. He's going crazy for it. And apparently that's what Jared Leto wanted to do, but they took out most of it.
I liked
So I
his
wish I saw
portrayal.
more
I
of
didn't
it.
necessarily, to me, it's hard to sit there and say, well, Heath Ledger was better. Well, you had a whole 2 hours of Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
had like 10 minutes of screen time with Jared Leto.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
want like a movie with
It's hard
him.
to can really compare.
And again, I think that the Joker is very much at its best when he's taking on Batman and
Yes.
talking with Batman,
Yes.
which never happened in this movie,
No.
not even for a second.
Unless you count when Batman was on top of the car.
And yeah, he was
Oh,
knocked out
yeah.
for a second. Joker was already gone at that point. He was knocked out.
I like there's a sense of a lot of like history with this Joker. I like that sense of it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, but they don't really go into the
No,
history as
I
much.
like to
It's
see
kind
more. You know,
See-
of him.
I don't know. The portrayal just seemed off to me. Like, I don't know. It's just a person.
Yeah, I get when people say that too. And again, I completely understand it.
I know they're going for a new take and everything,
Yeah.
but
And I also don't think it's fair when people say the same thing about Heath Ledger or about Jack Nicholson or anything, because again, first off, they had at least a whole movie to do it, and
Yeah.
also, it's like, again, same with every other character, the Joker has so many different versions that
Right.
I think anything you do, as long as it's similar, like this felt like the Joker to me for sure.
Yeah, he
when
did.
I looked at him, that looks like the Joker.
Yeah.
I understood that was the Joker. I just wish that there was more of it so that I could get what he was
Yeah.
doing.
I still stand by Mark Hamill's version only
Yes.
for the fact
Well.
that
Amazing.
like I think there was like some picture on the internet that's going around. It's like Heath Ledger's Joker was the psychotic Joker. Jack Nicholson's Joker was the mobster Joker. Like everyone did a different variation. Mark Hamill's was like a combination of all of them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
My favorite thing about that is that Mark Hamill, he did so well in it when he first did it that they gave him so many other ones that
Yeah.
he like. And I watched again. If you saw Suicide,
He got to evolve
not
it.
Suicide Squad. If you saw
Killing Joke.
Killing Joke, there was a little documentary they did with him
Yes.
beforehand where he said how excited he was that people liked his version, that he got to do every version of it. Like every version that the Joker has been, he's been
Yep.
the weird, off the wall, crazy, funny one, and then he's been the crazy, dark, psychotic one. He's been in between, and it's it's because he got to do it 5 different times.
Right.
I
And
know,
it's
but like he
complete-
perfected it by the last one, where
Yeah,
it
no, he
was a little bit
definitely
of
did.
everything all combined, which is what I want to see, like a live action one.
Yeah, and it would be fun. I just think that it depends what kind of movie you're making.
And-
Because again, I don't think this movie that's coming out, the new Batman movie, is going to do that.
No.
Even if the Joker's in it, it doesn't sound like he's going to be the main focus of the movie.
But that's the thing. Like I'm not saying anything bad about Jared Leto because I think he's an amazing actor. I think he just wasn't given the best like script to go. along
I'd
with.
I'd
Yeah, I'm
agree
fine.
with that to
Yeah.
an extent. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Jared Leto do plenty of other things that
Yeah.
are great. And I feel like even in this, I feel like I enjoyed it. I just
And I felt like if you guys saw his deleted scenes, maybe we
Yeah,
were like, okay.
I wish there was a
this
lot
is-
more.
Which when the Blu-ray comes out, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
I say
I'm-
we'll definitely
I
have
think-
another podcast
yeah.
about that where we discuss.
Yeah.
Brief side note: I did get the extended cut of Batman vs Superman. I watched it.
Okay, so I have also seen the extended.
I have not.
The extended Batman v Superman cut. There's a couple things that are good,
Yeah.
and there's a couple things that are like kind of
I
pointless.
would
Like
still
I saw.
say the lowest things, like the whole lowest side story off in the desert. There's really no point to that whole.
Yeah,
story.
they didn't. Or like they tried to give Jimmy Olsen some lines, but it still didn't work for me, and I don't know why they had to make him Jimmy Olsen, unless they're gonna bring him back to life sometimes. But why? It doesn't feel like this universe needs Jimmy Olsen to come back to life.
Didn't Superman like kill a lot of people or something trying to rescue her or something? I heard that.
No, he didn't. The point
No.
was that in this version they made it more clear that a woman saw what she thought was Superman coming in to kill people, but it was clear that it was the terrorists that all set it up, that Lex
Yeah.
Luthor had set it up to
What
look
the
like he killed them all.
What the extended cut does do better, it does kind of give you a better explanation of Superman's point of view of the fight. Because the theater version was all about Batman. You kind of got Superman. Like, why is Superman mad at Batman
Yeah.
for? Well, this does give you a very good idea why Superman has an issue with Batman. Because it shows Clark Kent going to Gotham, interviewing different people, and it shows Superman kind of like his
Yeah.
point of view of what Batman is
They
doing.
cut a lot of Clark Kent
Yeah.
reporting out of the movie, which again
Which
I
I
think
wanted
they-
to see more Clark
yeah.
Kent.
I would say Superman probably benefits the most from the
Yeah.
extended cuts.
I feel like there are still parts of it that they could have just
Yeah.
taken out and then put some of these parts
Yeah.
in. It would have been better. I still don't think I would have really loved the movie.
That's another thing
I feel like
about
it would've
the
been
Superman
fine.
still. His Clark Kent's not that good.
There's
like-
no difference between him and Superman. yet.
Exactly. He
As we've
does,
seen.
like he's supposed to be like the
Goofy
really goofy nerdy
Klutz.
like klutz.
yeah. I wish there was more of that. I feel like again I don't.
Lex Luthor's plan's a little.
You know what I think they should do actually,
Right,
and I hadn't
or-
thought of this before, but I think that they should. I mean, if I don't know if they need to, but I think they could. They could quite easily just have 2 different people playing like Superman and Clark Kent because I mean, at least it needs to be like feel different.
Maybe.
To me, because it, you know what I mean. I completely agree. I look at him and I don't think that looks like Clark Kent. Like it doesn't feel believable to me.
Yeah.
It just feels like he's he's Superman just pretending to be someone else.
Yeah.
Whereas I love in the comics when he sometimes feels more like Clark Kent and is like, well, I have to go save the world, or sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes there's comic book runs that are just Clark Kent trying to be a regular human.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, which doesn't happen.
I want someone to make the joke from Green Lantern, which I know Green Lantern was not a good movie, but there was one joke that I really loved where he had the mask on, and they're just like, I know it's you. I mean, you can't just put a mask over like your eyes and suddenly I won't recognize you.
Yeah, it's a funny thing that they brought up, and I wish that Superman at some point would say, I have a Kryptonian mind filter that makes you seem... Yeah, yeah. I'm like, sure, I believe it. That sounds like a true thing. I would be totally on board. I'd be like, yeah, Kryptonian mind filter. Haven't you all read that in the comic from 1967? It probably is in one of them.
Somewhere.
In some of the comics, they have an explanation for it. Just
there
not all
is
of
some
them.
sort of, he does something.
Yeah, there's just most of the time they don't mention it.
Yeah.
Which seems weird, but you just have to ignore it.
So makes you like look slightly to the left or something.
Look slightly to the left.
Overall,
That's totally
I would think it does help the movie. It doesn't make it perfect, but it does at least help it. Though it just makes it longer, which it didn't.
Yeah, it made it really long. That movie is so long when you watch the whole thing.
It's like over 3 hours.
It's like,
oh my.
Yeah, no, I think I took a break in the middle of it. I was like, I need to sit down.
You were sitting down.
I know. I need to stand up. I don't know what I need. I need to not. Because that, and again, I'm like, yeah, no, there's no way they could put that in the theater. They would be terrible. And it was not a good movie as a 3-hour version. No. It was not, so they should have cut it down.
Mostly it just kind of helped explain things,
way.
which should have been explained in the first place.
Yeah, they should have cut it down differently than they did, but not in the way that they did.
So basically,
by
someone just fires Zack Snyder's editor.
I mean, I'm fine with that too.
Get rid of Zack Snyder in general, I'd be happy.
I'm also okay with that. But I think...
I don't know, I'm excited for the Justice League. I saw the trailer for that. Looks good.
Justice League trailer doesn't
look good. Yes, but Man of Steel's trailer looked good. Batman Superman's trailer looked good.
I think the first Batman Superman trailer I did not like. The second one that had more Batman in it, I liked. This trailer was all Batman, so I liked it.
I like this trailer because it looks like they're like it's assembling the team.
I do have a little bit of hope because based off they had like some on-set interviews that they are listening to what the fans' complaints of the first two films were. So I do have some hope. That's what we'll see. I'm excited for it.
What I'm totally okay with if they do, which it looks like they might be, is like they're not calling it Justice League Part 1 anymore, but but it's like it's the first Justice League movie. There's going to be another one. Mm-hmm. This one is going to be, at least at the beginning, a lot of setup stuff, and I'm totally okay with that because I loved watching I loved the first 30 minutes of Avengers. Is like no one's fighting anything. They're like
cool. And then they fought each other.
Yeah, and that was interesting. Avengers has like this amazing weird structure that doesn't make sense, but I love it.
Well, it makes sense because they're siblings and they have to fight each other.
Well, that's kind of like Marvel's approach, and DC's kind of done it in more recent years. Marvel's approach when they first created the Avengers team was put people who don't belong together and make them work together. Yeah. DC's back in the day, Justice League, where people were like, oh, we get along just fine. Let's work
they're
together.
like the superheroes. Like people know, most of the time, like Metropolis is like, oh yeah, no, Superman, he's flying around. Batman's the one in Gotham. They're like, they the two of them occasionally they need to team up because this guy's really bad.
Well, at the time, the Marvel characters hated each other. Like, no. Yeah.
They've had so many civil wars. It's crazy.
Yes.
I realized something, though, if you're saying that. Like, every team up in, like, Marvel, they fought each other before they became a team. Yeah. Well, almost everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, there's usually a part
Tony and Rhodey fought before they became friends. Every Avengers fought each other before they became friends.
All the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just the way the Marvel characters... And it's different between Marvel and DC. DC's approach, which is a good approach in itself. They have like these gods among men superheroes who are just pure of heart. There's awesome characters. Marvel's characters are almost more human almost, and they're very flawed people who are superheroes. Probably shouldn't be superheroes, but they are, and they kind of, despite their flaws, they try to save the world.
Captain America is like probably the least flawed, but he definitely has some baggage.
He does, yeah.
Like Thor, he's a god pretty much.
Arrogant,
But he's still worthy enough where he can lift Mjolnir but he's definitely like had plenty of issues in the movie.
People like Spider-Man, he's a teenage kid who wants to go on a date, but has to go save this person over here. It's like, man.
On the side note,
totally,
have you guys seen any new pictures of the villain from the new Spider-Man movie?
Yes, Shocker.
What?
Shocker.
They're bringing Shocker back.
There is pictures of Shocker.
Not Shocker back. He's the first time in live action.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just keep
You're
thinking of
Shocker
from Electro. I just keep mixing those two up. But I do like Shocker from like the comics and the
Yes,
games and
yes.
things like that. I have to
the
look at the picture.
suit
Yeah.
looks very comic accurate.
I did see an awesome video of Tom Holland like doing a backflip off a trampoline though.
Yeah,
That
so
was-
he's
That
good.
was like I'm like okay cool he's he's doing some of his own stunts at least like
Yes.
obviously not like the crazy stuff.
No, he's secretly Spider-Man. He can do all that.
Oh okay that's Shocker right there.
Yep, that's Shocker.
That looks like Shocker.
It looks
That's
pretty
fine.
comic accurate.
Yeah, I'm excited for
which
it.
Marvel has done so far, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
But it has like enough of a realistic look too,
Right.
where it's not just like a guy in yellow spandex.
Yeah.
And I do hope, because to me, and I've heard argued before too, actually I liked, people argue like in the original, Sam Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man movies, he has the idea of like, okay, he had Green Goblin in the first movie. A couple years go by, Dr. Octopus. A couple years go by, and you have Sandman, and now Harry and Venom, and the mess that they had with that movie. But he had this idea almost like the Spider-Man not do anything else for fight petty crime between these major villains.
Yeah.
To me, Shocker introduces a possibility of, he's not a main villain material.
No.
Because Vulture's the main villain in the movie. So what happens if Shocker's he's just the guy they run into at some point in the movie. He's like, he's trying to rob a bank or something.
Yeah, they could definitely
And
set
that-
up
that-
Shocker as a low time.
That's
villain.
kind of a cool way to do it. That shows you there's other villains out there. Like Rhino. Why haven't you throw Rhino in there? Just because he's another low time villain.
Yeah, they had a good idea going with Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah.
where they had.
So I like that idea because you do need to show these minor guys who are also out and about, just as petty villains
Yeah.
with
What-
some
yeah.
better tech.
What's the name of the guy that's playing Vulture again?
Michael Keaton.
Michael
Is
Keaton
he,
playing.
is he officially
Yes.
doing that?
Yes. Okay. What they should do is they should have a joke.
I
It's
hadn't
like,
heard that.
who's this guy? Batman? It's like, no, I'm Vulture.
I mean, I'm sure they will. Have any of you guys ever seen? I don't know if you. I'm sure I've talked to you about this movie. The movie that came out a couple of years ago, Birdman. Not a couple of years.
I haven't
ago,
seen it, but yeah.
I haven't
Um,
seen it, but yeah, you've talked.
Yeah, it's beautiful. First off, it's amazing. And it just the whole thing is Michael Keaton like almost satirizing himself as himself, an old guy who used to play a superhero. In the movie it was Birdman, and they asked him
And now he's
to
gonna
do
play
they asked him to
Birdman.
do sequels, and they keep doing, and then he just kept saying, and eventually he just said no because he wanted to be a serious actor and try to move on. And so it's a really interesting story.
But
yeah,
no
so I
one can
wonder
see
if
him as
they'll
anything
do
else.
that. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of that idea of like an actor being like so tied to their role that they like ended hating it because they wanted to do something else.
Like Alec Guinness, he did not like Obi-Wan by the end of it
Yeah,
because he was
exactly.
typecast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mache.
Yeah. What I'm hoping that the new Spider-Man movie does that I think the other I love the Sam Raimi movies, all two of them. All both of them were really really good. But anyway, I think that the Amazing Spider-Man movies are not bad. I think they're
Yeah,
good.
a lot of good stuff in
It's
there.
still it still
Yeah.
felt like a Spider-Man movie. It's
Yeah.
still I was fine with him as
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I think he wasn't as the best Peter Parker because he was too. Yeah, it's fine. But
As long
again,
as they keep him in high school for more than one movie.
yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I a couple months ago when they were first, someone asked the director, "What are you gonna do with Spider-Man? What's it gonna be like?" And he says, "I want to make like a teen high school movie that just happens to occasionally he has to go out and be Spider-Man." And I'm like, I would watch that.
And they
movie.
compare
I
it to
would
The
love
Breakfast
it.
Club, which
yeah,
I was-
that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
I would watch The Breakfast Club if like one of them was Spider-Man just
Yeah.
for a minute, like. And it's like mostly about the like small time, and he even said it's like maybe it's not about saving the world, maybe it's just about like he's saving New York City, but like not even saving New York City. It's kind of like he's helping out, he's stopping some crime, he's doing like this is early Spider-Man, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
They should bring in some of the heroes from the Netflix movies because that's on the Europe
I heard
too.
that.
That would be cool.
Interesting as a crossover, but I think the first movie should just be like very basic
But
Spider-Man
like
stuff.
have
But
like
yeah.
a reference, like have like a sign that says like Murdoch and Nelson or something.
Yeah, I would
Or
love if
Nelson
they
and
talked
Murdoch.
about it because they're
Well, at
all
least
in,
a small
in
reference
New
to
York.
Daredevil, because he's the one only as of now the only named of those Netflix characters. Because Luke Cage he's just Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones is just Jessica Jones. Daredevil actually is someone that costs him running around.
Yeah, and people
Hell's
know
Kitchen, so
about
it's like-
Daredevil. It's kind of
And
a
Punisher
well-known-
now.
Yeah, those two would be kind of cool if you referenced them. Even like a Daily Beagle newspaper is
Yeah.
talking about.
Which is, and I think
It'd
that's
be like
all
a
they
small
would do.
column on the
Yeah.
side.
I'd be fine with that. Reference.
I don't think the crossover would work as
No.
well because I think that
Not
they're
yet.
totally
I'm
different.
not saying like a big one. I'm saying just a reference at
yeah,
least.
the
Yeah.
references are totally great. Which
Acknowledge
they
them.
Yeah, acknowledge them that they
Or
exist.
have someone like Spider-Man goes save somebody. He's like, "Thanks, Daredevil," and Spider-man's like, "Really?" Like,
That'd be
come
kind
on.
of funny.
I'm not Daredevil.
Yeah, I think that definitely could work. Like I could definitely see him being like, who are these guys? They're like, yeah, like Spider-Man. Why did why are you here? We have other people that
Yeah.
people that actually have powers maybe or something. Do we have? And he's like, no, I can swing the web. Because is he going to be making the web? Is he going to be like he makes the tech?
Yeah, he has the
Yeah,
tech.
he has the tech.
He has
So
the
it's
tech,
like
so.
if people are just looking at him, they're probably just going to think, oh, it's just some kid in a costume. He made some stuff,
Yeah.
and because he does have the spider powers, but like they're not very well. It's like he can
Right.
climb on walls. That's something that you can do. But again, people might just assume that that's another tech thing. That
Even Tony
It
thought
could be
that in Civil
parkour.
War. Tony
Yeah.
asked him, "What tech?"
yeah, he's like
what tech are you
most
using?"
people don't think that he's a superhuman. He would just think
Yeah.
he's a kid with some technology.
Yeah.
I think he's another Tony Stark. Just
Yeah,
a
which
brilliant kid.
again, in this version, it mostly is kind of true
Yeah.
for a lot of it.
Which is good too, because I don't think they really showcase his like
His-
brains enough.
No. Because they've touched upon it in the other movies here and there. But like, Peter is supposed to be a genius. He's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be extremely intelligent for his age.
Yeah, which
Like,
is
I feel like
why
they sh-
I'm really excited to see Robert Downey Jr. in.
Yeah.
I want to see how much he's in it. I hope that he doesn't.
I don't want to be
Too
like
much,
too
because,
much,
yeah,
but just enough.
Again, I don't think I want Iron Man in the movie at all. I want Robert Downey Jr. to
Yeah,
be
I
there
want
to
to
be
as
like
Tony
mentoring
Stark.
him and just
Yeah.
be.
They'll just have
Yeah.
him like walking up Aunt May one day and
Oh my
like,
goodness, they
be
probably
like, oh yeah,
will.
we just went on a date.
They seem to
I-
like making people like that joke, so I think
Yes.
you're gonna do
I
it
kind of
again.
just want to see him as Tony Stark.
Yeah, which we haven't seen.
a,
So
a
that would be
genius
really.
billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that like Iron Man 3 did a pretty good job of like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of Tony Stark, and
Yeah.
that was fun. That's
Yeah, that's fine
that
with
was
that.
probably the reason that I like the third one better than the second one.
Mhm.
Well, no, a
I
couple
think
reasons.
everyone
Yeah,
likes
I think there's a couple of reasons. The villain was a lot better. There's a couple of reasons.
just a couple.
Yeah. Do we want to keep going on this, or do we want to go?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh
What-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
like-
yeah.
What else was on that list of movies, just so we know, like
Um,
of like the old, not old, the ones that we had listed. Like they're still coming up. We have a couple, but of the movies that are out now, are there any more that we haven't talked? Even ones that there might be one or two. I feel like there's one or two that we just didn't see. That might be true.
I know they made a Tarzan movie, but I didn't
saw
see that.
Tarzan.
How might we talked about that? How
I
was
saw
Tarzan?
it.
Was it like
It was-
they had Samuel L. Jackson, which
Yes.
is probably the biggest reason people wanted to go see it.
Yeah. He.
I think everyone wanted to see it because there's the guy running around without a shirt on.
Well,
they saw the girls.
for
that's
people
why
who
they
want
wanted to
that,
see it.
that doesn't happen until like halfway through the movie. So.
That's why everyone I know that's a girl. That's the reason they went to go see
Yeah.
it.
Samuel L. Jackson's character in the movie. He's Samuel L. Jackson's character. He plays the same character in a lot of things.
Yeah.
He played himself essentially.
Exactly.
He kind of. I liked his character. I would say that he kind of stood out for the time frame the movie was supposed to be taking place in. It's kind of like, why is he?
Which Samuel L. Jackson does tend to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes. If any of you saw, did you see Django Unchained?
Yeah.
He feels like he's still like he's like I don't know if
Yeah.
I believe that this guy's in the old west.
Yeah.
I don't think I
Yeah.
quite.
So I mean, it's one of those like, I mean, it worked, but it didn't work. It's like okay, whatever. But it's Samuel L. Jackson, so
Yeah,
no one
so
cares.
it's great. I mean, he's gonna yell and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
He'll show up in the next Star Wars movie, and we'll all be like, I don't even care how he's back.
Yeah, it doesn't make any. It doesn't matter. He's
But
complete.
overall, it was a good movie. I liked it. It was. If you're going to think it's a Tarzan movie, like the true Tarzan, this is like the story after that. This is more like a sequel to Tarzan. It didn't happen. So it's,
Oh yeah, no, I heard that too. That
Yeah.
like, it was weird from the trailers. You couldn't tell.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were trying to do Tarzan again, and
Yes.
they never really explained
it's very
it.
much the story after the original story.
Okay, well, that's
so, and they do some flashbacks, but it worked. I liked it. I mean, it was a good movie. It was a good, solid movie. It had some, wasn't perfect, but
Yeah.
for Tarzan, it worked. Yeah,
Okay.
so.
I'll have to check that out.
I think that wraps us up for this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank
See you
you.
guys next time.
See you guys next time. Whatever that is.
We'll figure it out. Or, no, we won't. Never mind.